Yeah, so I'm here with Steve. Steve, you work on Dead Space 2?
Yeah, that's right. I'm the executive producer for Dead Space 2.
So tell me, how does this game differs from the first one? I mean, now you can actually see Isaac's face. How was that, like creating him as a real person when you can see his face?
Yeah, so it was important for us to try to get players more connected to Isaac, and one of the ways we wanted to do that was by focusing on him as a character. So having the cool retractable helmet so you can actually see his face is one step towards it. You could actually see him in the first game at the very beginning and at the very end. We wanted to show that a little bit more, give more of a human side to him. And then giving him a voice was a big thing because we wanted to be able to relate his story through his words this time.
I tried the game yesterday, and I noticed that there were some new weapons and, of course, new suit, and also some new elements of Zero-G. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So in the Gamescom demo, what we showed off was the Halo jump, but we also showed off a Zero-G space with a puzzle and a new enemy, the Nest. And the idea in Zero-G this time around is that you'll have full control, whereas in the last game you had point-to-point jumping. Now you'll actually be able to move freely around thanks to the thrusters on Isaac's back. You're also able to use those thrusters to dodge projectiles that are coming at you. And the hope there was to just improve on what we did with the last game. In terms of the other things, the puzzle, it was all about aligning those solar arrays so that you could charge up that giant laser to send power back down the sprawl. And then the Halo jump was just an example of one of the kind of things we're going to throw at players. We're looking to just keep them off balance and create some epic moments that will, alter the pacing of the game. Last time it was, all about tension, tension, tension. Now we want to mix it up and have these moments where players are like, whoa, what the hell was that? And just kind of mix it up on them. So there was that. And then also you talked about the new weapons. We were kind of showing off the javelin gun, which will allow players to impale enemies and nail them to surfaces. And then the alt fire on that electrocutes enemies and also has a small area of effect. And then we kind of teased the new alt fire on the pulse rifle, which is a grenade this time. So yeah, that's some of the new stuff we showed.
Yeah, that's really cool. But also we saw 2 new enemies.
Yes, we did. Actually 3 new enemies. We saw the Nest, the Pack, and the Puker. So the Nest is that Zero-G enemy that we saw that had the big bulbous sacky things that you had to shoot off, and she would shoot those squid projectiles towards Isaac, and you had to dodge those with your thrusters on your suit. And then the Puker, well, he pukes on you. He does this kind of, he has a couple different attacks. He's got a projectile vomit attack that if it hits Isaac will actually, mess him up pretty good. But there's an interesting strategy there where you can actually use it to your advantage. So if you happen to get other enemies that path in between you and Isaac, or you shoot off an arm and that bile comes spewing out of his, removed area there, it'll actually damage enemies. So you can use it strategically against the other guys. And then you saw a snare attack, which was brand new. We'd never shown that. And that's actually a little trick that the Puker has, that he will actually slow you down if you get hit by that projectile, allowing the other enemies to get close to you or allowing him to close in for a finishing move.
Last question. When is the game due to release?
The game's coming out in Europe on January 28th, 2011.
You don't want to miss it.